All right, coming back in with even more fashion and design. I'm really enjoying this. I've been getting excited about doing this again, applying everything that I've been learning just recently to all of the work that I've done and the work that I've done dreaming of ways to take fashion and design. So after you level up a good bit, you come back to dreams that you've had for a while and you're like, "Oh man, look at all this stuff that I can do." And as it's coming back to you, you remember good points in your life. If you get excited, if you're having fun doing it, if you're feeling like things suck and you work on fashion design, it's like, you know, it won't necessarily catalyze the most peak experiences unless you really get into it and start to visualize and meditate what was fun about that. Was it imagining the cool types of clothes, imagining wearing them, imagining other people wearing them and owning them and making them look even cooler than you could? And parties and get-togethers, events with everyone well dressed, and adding to the ecosystem, thinking that if you made a really cool fashion design brand, man, there's TV shows that would come to you and be like, "Oh man, we want some killer streetwear for this ninja girl who's in this superhero show," and you'd get to be a part of that. Oh man, that being so up our alley, I'd be like, "Oh man, we'll do a unique thing for it." But having people that could help to articulate the designs, imagining the collaboration of it, imagining having designers that could help you pick out clothing materials that were light and high quality and fit the theme and the vision, that's really cool. All of it, all of the above and more. And then once you get into it, just letting the energy flow and getting all kinds of new ideas for things you hadn't thought of before, finding ways to remix things that you have thought of, getting to the point where you can gesturally sketch out blueprints for clothes to variations, right? This gear right here. But you're like, what about several variations on that mold already solid? And in that way, you kind of remix your creativity further. Because sometimes it's not the first draft that gets it, nor the second or the third, but like the fifth time in, because you're like, okay, we've already circled all of this. We want to do something wild style. And you come up with something that you've never quite seen before that still feels good. Feel is definitely something you go for in fashion, because, you're going to have to wear them. They're sensory not only to the eyes, but to the touch. So there, and you could try reversed pattern, right, where it's like up there and down here, kind of like creates that middle band instead of the textures banding just the center. That's cool. I like this afro girl. That's what's going on here. If you're like space helmet girl, ooh. Stuff like this. It's fun to sometimes exaggerate your designs out a little bit. We're like, that is such a wide collar. But then when you call them back in, it creates an exaggerated demonstration that sometimes is exactly what you want. Like something with any one point of design in fashion turned 10% over regular is like, ooh, that's cool. That's cool. That's not like anything that we've quite ever seen before. So it calls reminiscent and yet new. And everything else in the design almost has to be perfectly fitted for you to do that right. Because something with like big ass shoulders, oh no, get it away from me. Design sin. So if you find gear that has shoulders that are a little bit big, everything has to be the right size, like slim arms. You can have slim shoulders that still have a little bit of pad on them, but those extra wide 80s shoulders, it's like, oh man, can't take it. Is she perfect? Yeah, of course, but can can always be perfecter. See? She's not that skinny. Like inhumanly. Nah, she ain't inhuman type skinny. Okay. Okay, we draw so much comic stuff that giving her a sword might be a little bit... You know, sometimes in fashion design, you can have things where someone has a sword, but that's usually for a music video or something. And we want these fashion designs to look nice, to highlight the clothes, for people not to think, is this an idea for a comic or a fantasy thing? I mean, sometimes it's cool. You could have a bunch of girls with like Hattori Hanzo swords, but you want to give a demonstration of something where the style would be so high that you're like, okay, they're doing like a katana and fashion thing. So that the focal point was still fashion. A lot of hands in pockets. We got to do some goddamn dynamic arm stuff. Yeah, that's right. Get like big ass headphones. Cool. There we go. Nice. He's like, hey girl, don't sweat it. Come on, let's hit this show. That's me on the way to a party. Cheer up. Oh, dog sneeze. To make sure it wasn't Sanji, that he is good. Okay, we're doing so many things with big pockets. We want to do not big pockets. Not right now. We'll come back to it. There's like a million different ways that you could do big pockets. So much and so confidently that I'm like, we could make big pockets our thing and just do it in 100 different ways. But you also want to have things that can showcase different ways to utilize space in design. To do a bunch of different cultural stuff would be great. Because, and then using modern fabrics and techniques, so you're changing the texture, but looking at different ways clothes have been worn is something that's real cool. Try and do some of that. We'll only do this for a minute. Gotta always find your deadline, the right exact amount of time to spend on any one thing. Okay, totally going in to some design board. To use the design board to come up with new ideas. This has kind of been like freeform just to get back into it. Here, we'll do that now for a minute with mini sketch. Cool. See, just in the step forward, because you're like one arm forward, one leg forward, and then back and back. You can, like, there's all kinds of shortcuts of design. So if you're thumbnailing and you know where everything's at, you can just draw it instantly. And when you're working at this scale, it's like pretty easy to come up with new stuff. Hey, doggo. And only you might know what it is right now. But if you have a bunch of different materials in front of you, straps, pockets, collars, materials, in this coming up with new shapes, you can fill these spaces with your ideas. I was working on drawing on the magnified camera. So you're like, okay, that was some kind of a belt cape kind of deal. And then straps and leather on the pants. Sleeves or not. One sleeve. Bam. Pretty cool. This is a good place to play with asymmetry, bags and such, like areas of texture and detail. And as you're doing that, you can think, okay, we're gonna do something that utilizes bags or leather or something that's just a bunch of like t-shirts and plain clothes that uses texture in different ways, texture and design. Yo, coming in. That's cool. And then when you get a good idea for something, you can be like, all right, t-shirt design sketch. Cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Like a Tibetan type script kind of a deal. And then after these thumbnails, you know, when you come back around, you'd actually look up all the references you need to get them hyper spiffy. Oh, the jam. Six-pocketed front gear. That's a cool jacket. Just shorts. Party rock. Those shorts. Bam. And then material always matters. You have this out of like leather. It's like tight, soft strips of leather. It'd have to be really high quality, or if it was like synthetic leather, it would like rip out and look lame after a little while. It'd last pretty good if it was like high quality lambskin type deal. Hoop. Hoop. Nice. Add gear. Right there. Could have any number of types of print on that. All right. Good deal. Expansion on fashion design tonight. Really, really fun.